So hello friends, let us start with the third module of introduction to C++ programming. So let's begin with the first question, that is different type of inheritances. The first one is single inheritance. In this inheritance, derived class is only inherits the property of a single base class. Okay, so let's see the example. This is parent class. Okay, so it has a method display in which you are displaying parent class function. Okay, so further on you are having a child class which is inheriting the properties of parent class via this sentence. Okay, and now after this you are having a main function in which we are creating an object of child, this child object, and we are printing object or display. So since we are printing object or display, it will display this one parent class function. Okay, so it will give it this as output. So output will be parent class function. Okay, so let us move with the multiple inheritance in which a derived class is inherited with the two base class. Okay, or else you can say it like a class which are inheriting more than one base class, that is derived, sorry, that is multiple inheritance. Okay, so let us see the example. Class vehicle, here the vehicle is the class and it has the method vehicle in which you are printing this is a vehicle. Okay, now the second method, sorry, the second class you have fare, in which the fare method is there and it is printing fare of vehicle. All right, then the third one is the car class which are inheriting the properties of this vehicle and this fare. Okay, so both are public. All right, and in this car class you are having a method show, that is car class. Okay, so when you create an object of car, that is my car, and you are printing my car dot show. So my car, so my car is an object of car, so it will go to this car class and it will print show. So what is inside the show method, that is car class. So car class will be printed as output. Okay, so let's see the third one, that is multi-level inheritance. In multi-level inheritance, we are having a base class which is been inherited by some derived class, and that derived class furthermore inherited with some other derived class. Okay, so see here the graph, that is base class 2 and this is base class 1, and this is the derived class for this class C, and this is derived class for this class B. Okay, so since creating a chain, okay, you can add more here also, so this will create a chain. Okay, so let's move to the example. Here vehicle is the class. Okay, these are printing this is a vehicle. Okay, then four wheeler is a class, we are inheriting the properties of vehicle. Okay, and it is printing this is a four-wheeler vehicle. Okay, and next we are having car class which are inheriting the properties of four-wheeler, and that is printing this is a car. Okay, now we are creating an object for my car class. Okay, uh, whenever you create an object for any class, that is constructor call out. Okay, and what is constructor we will see in second question. For now just see what is happening over here. Okay, so whenever you are creating an object for car class, you are calling in constructor. That when constructor is been called, my car, since the object of this car, so first it will go to this one. So, since it is inheriting the properties of four-wheeler, it will go to this four-wheeler, and four-wheeler also inheriting the properties of vehicle, so it will go to this vehicle and it will print this one first. So this is a vehicle will be printed, then after this it will go to this, and this is a four-wheeler vehicle will be printed, and after this is a car will be printed. So you can see it over here, so same it will be printed. All right, so let's move to the fourth one. This is fourth, hierarchy and inheritance. Okay, so in hierarchy and inheritance, multiple classes inherits from a single base class, that is class G is the single base class, and this is the inherited class. Okay, so this all is the inherited class. You can see the example. Animal is the class where it has having a function, that is eat, and it is printing this animal eats food. Okay, and another class we are having dog, which are inheriting the properties of animal and having the function bark, dog barks. Okay, so another function cat, sorry, that is class. cat class inheriting properties of animal, and it is printing cat meow under the function meow. Okay, so when you create a object for this dog class, then this d dot eat, when you print, then what it printed, this animal eat food. Okay, so first this animal eat food will be created, then d dot bark, then this dog barks will be printed, and likewise it's all will be printed respective outputs. Okay, so let's see the hybrid inheritance, in which it is a combination of multiple inheritance such as hierarchical and multiple inheritance. Okay, so let's see, this is multiple inheritance and this one is hierarchical inheritance, so it is the combination of both. Okay, so this is the example. Let's see, vehicle is the class which is printing, this is a vehicle. Okay, fare is the class which is having the fare method and it is printing fare of vehicle. Okay, so car is the class which are inheriting the properties of both public vehicle and public fare, so you can call, we can say it is a multiple inheritance. Okay, so this one is printing car constructed. Okay, so now you are creating an object for car C, then the output will be this car C, car is here, so output will be, this is a vehicle, fare of vehicle and car constructed, and this will be the output for your program. Okay, so by this the first question ends, and let's proceed with the second question, that is explain constructor and destructor with suitable example. Okay, so what is constructor? Constructor is a special member function of a class that is automatically involved when you create the object for this class. Okay, so as I told you in that example previously, that was the constructor when we created an object for that car class. So similarly it is the constructor here also, it is a constructor because we have created the object for this car class. Okay, so let's see, the main purpose for initialize object is it has the same name as the class. Okay, does not have any return type, can be overloaded, so it can be overloaded and can have default argument. Okay, so let's see it with an example. Class student is the class that is private. Okay, so string name int age. Okay, so public, and under this in private we are having these two that can only be accessed in this class and cannot be accessed outside this class. Okay, that is private, and public, in public we are having student string and int a. Okay, and name is equals to n, age is equals to a. This is we are initializing name and age, and cout constructor called for name. Okay, and inside the display method we are having name that will print name, and age that will print age. Okay, so let's see how to call a constructor. See, in this main function student s1 is called without any return type. Okay, so student s1 we have created an object for student and it has no return type, so it is constructor. Okay, so in s1 alias is the name, 21 is the age. Okay, when we print s1 dot display, then it will display the name and age. Okay, so similarly this will display the Bob and 25, so the output will be alias age 21, Bob age 25. Okay, so I hope you understood what is constructor and destructor. This opposite of that constructor, the constructor when you create an object, that time the constructor is called, and destructor when you remove that object. Like destructor is a special member function that involved automatically when an object goes out of scope. Okay, so this is the characteristics, name, same name as the class preceded by tilde. Okay, and does not take parameters, cannot be overloaded, automatically called during object destruction. Okay, so let's see an example. Here file is the class having private as file pointer fp file pointer. Okay, public, in public we are having file constant char file name. We are opening file in write mode, and now we are checking whether the file is not null. Okay, that is file pointer is not null, and file open successfully, and we are printing failed to open file else in else situation. Okay, so this is the destructor which are even called in after the tilde sign, and it is checking whether file pointer does not contain any null value. If it not contain null value, we are closing the file and printing file closed. Okay, and inside the main function we are having my file and example.txt. Okay, so this is the file, that is file name. Okay, so here we call the constructor, and we are performing operations over the file. Okay, so when calling the constructor, so this will be printed. The first one is file opened successfully. Then what we have to perform any operation, then that operation is being performed, and then after that we will be printing failed, that is file closed. Okay, so this is the whole scenario of constructor and destructor. So just have a look on this and you will understand that all. So let us move to the third question, that is constructor with default argument and copy constructor, and importance of constructor and destructor and its use with the program. Okay, so what is constructor with default argument? A constructor that has parameters with default value, it allow creating object with optional argument. Okay, so the constructor which are having default value in its parameter, that is constructor with default arguments. Okay, so see the program. Rectangle is the class having private as length and width. Okay, public as rectangle int I, length is equals to 1 and width is equals to 1. So this is the default value we are passing, that is length is equals to 1, width is equals to 1. So if user forget to give the length and width value, so this will be used, that is default value. Okay, so length is equals to L, width is equals to W. So void area will be printing length to break. Okay, so inside main function we are having rectangle rect1, that is we are not giving any arguments over here. So this default argument will be printed. Okay, that is 1 and 1. So rectangle 1 we are calling, then it will take 1 and 1. Okay, so here rectangle rect 2, that is 5. So length is 5 but width is not given here, so width is default, that is 1. Okay, so rectangle rect 3, 4, 6, so length is 4 and width is 6. Okay, so now we are printing all that value. So area will be 1 for this, area will be 5 for this, area will be 24 for this. Okay, so I hope you understood. So let's move to the copy constructor. That is, let's see the definition. Copy constructor is a special constructor that creates a new object as a copy of an existing object. Okay, so let's clarify this with the help of example. We are having box class, in which in private we are having length, and in public we are having box int L. Okay, so length is equals to L, and now box const box and object, we are creating object for this box, and that is copy constructor. And we are creating a variable of length that is equals to object dot length. Okay, so now we are printing copy constructor called, and after this we are having void display function, in which we are printing length and length. Okay, and inside the main function we are having box 110, that is length is 10, and box 2, that is equals to box 1, that is the copy constructor. Okay, so it is copying this one box int 1, that is copying this one constructor. Okay, so it is the copy constructor over here, and after taking this all value, we are simply displaying the value. So it will give the output as length 10, and here also length 10, because it is just copying that constructor. Okay, so this was all about copy constructor. Let us move to this importance of constructor and destructor and its use with program. So importance of constructor is, it is used to initialize object at the time of creation, and it ensures objects are created with valid data. Okay, and the importance of destructor is, it is used to release resources when objects are destroyed. Okay, and second one is helps prevent resource leaks. Okay, so this is the example program. Let's see. We are having file handler class, in which in private we are having file pointer. Okay, in public we are having file handler, that is file name, and we are opening a file in write mode, and we are printing whether file is open or not. Okay, so in destructor we are having file handler, and we are checking whether file is not containing any file is actually present. So if it is present, So it will method will be called here, and after this file is closed. Okay, so in main function we are having file handler fh example.txt. so after this example.txt we will be performing some operation over here. So in this, what is going to be the output? See, first one is the file opened successfully. Okay, so first one is the output as file opened successfully, and the second output is file closed after performing any operation that you give here. Okay, so this will be the output for that program. Okay, so here is the explanation, just read it out. And let's move to the fourth question: how is polymorphism achieved at runtime and compile time, with an example? Okay, so let's see. Compile time polymorphism, it is what? It is achieved through function overloading and operator overloading. Okay, so this is the example for the same. We are having math operation class in which we are performing addition of these two numbers. Okay, and we are returning that number. And similarly, we are performing this addition of double A double B and returning that A plus B. In main function, we are just calling that function and printing that value, and similarly that value will be printed. 5 plus 10 will be 15, and 5.5 plus 10 plus 2 will be the input for this double, and will be printed as output as 15.7. Okay, so I hope that you understood what it is. And second one is runtime polymorphism, that is achieved through inheritance and virtual functions. Okay, and the decision which overridden function to invoke is made at runtime based on the actual object type. Okay, let's see with the help of example. Base class is there. Okay, in which it is printing base class so, and in derived class we are having derived class so called. Okay, so we are having base at pointer, and derived d, that is object for derived, and this pointer is equals to pointing to this derived object. Okay, this pointer pointing to this derived object, and we are printing so, like we are calling the so function over here. Okay, so when we call so function, see what will be the print output. In what we are printing pointer so yeah, it will go to this one, because we created a derived object, and into that object the pointer is, so the pointer will point to this so. Okay, this so method, and it will print derived so, sorry, derived class so called. Okay, so this one will the output. Okay, so I hope this one is also clear to you all, and with this module is also finished. So yeah, I hope you understood this module as well. Just have a read after this video ends, and I will upload this PDF to the description. And best of luck for your exam. See you in the next module. Bye.